Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Sully, how are you today?
Pretty good, man. I guess you're going to be out at the prep tonight, or what?
I will be at the prep tonight. I think it's the, to this point in the season, it could be the game of the year. Obviously, you have two of the top teams in South Jersey. We have AC at number 3, and obviously prep has been number 1 across the board for us. So, it should be a good game. Should be, Gene Allen will be as entertaining as ever, and it'll be a battle as to see which coach takes off his tie first, and works the zebras a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Over under is late first quarter for Coach Allen, maybe mid second quarter for Coach Rodeo.
Yeah, I think Gene will take that. That's a pretty good bet. I think I might have to take that one.
Always a great game when those two get together, and really makes for a nice Saturday afternoon game, late afternoon, and should be a great crowd over there. I'm expecting, wall-to-wall standing room only.
They'll pack it in, that's for sure. You don't get a chance. You only play AC at home one time, and obviously it's a very big rivalry game, down there, and excuse me, and obviously year after year, these are two teams that are pretty much going to be top 5 teams in South Jersey basketball, if not even closer to number 1. So, we'll see what happens. Obviously, they know each other extremely well, no secrets. So, we will throw the ball out there and see what happens.
What do you make of St. Augustine? Seems to me like they're still trying to figure out how to play without Saeed Nelson. He was such a big part of their team last year, but Austin Kennedy's done a nice job running the point there, and Mutz is coming along as one of those top big men in South Jersey, so it should be interesting to see how they handle Atlantic City tonight.
Yeah, I think the thing with them is, they've played 8 games, and they've been spread out a little bit. 8 games, there are some teams that have played 10 by now, but, that's not that big of a difference. But, St. Augustine's, if you want to call it a problem, so to speak, is that they really are, and we've talked about it before, they're a notch above, most teams, clearly. And, there's times when they're not going to get great opportunities to have those starting 5 and maybe the top 2 guys come off the bench on a consistent basis. When they're beating teams by 30 points, and Coach Rodeo's, emptying the bench real early, that's minutes away from more of an opportunity to kind of grow together. And, as the season goes on, I think, that will probably, the point differential may still be there, but I think he's probably going to give those starters and those first and second guys off the bench more minutes just so they can build that bond and that chemistry that's needed, because when March rolls around and the state tournament comes in and non-public A is a bear, you're not going to be going to the bench to the 5th, 6th, 7th kid, and the kid who's the JV star. So, they're going to have to build some more chemistry, and I think, they'll be fine. They'll take care of that. But I think tonight, like you said, tonight's a perfect example where, I don't think they're going to go to the bench that much, that deep. And, we'll see these kids blend together. But, Austin Kennedy, the thing is with Saeed Nelson is, it didn't matter who the point guard was going to be this year. That point guard is not Saeed Nelson. And, the same thing has happened in other schools where they have kids that have established themselves and have gone on to great things, and the next guy coming in, the knock on him is, well, he's not as good. Well, he's not him. Well, yeah, he's not. They're obviously not as good. Sometimes, the next kid coming up is very good, but, Austin Kennedy should be taken for the fact that he's Austin Kennedy. He is not Saeed Nelson. He's not going to be Saeed Nelson, and it's just a different flow to the game. So, they'll be fine. They get the ball to where they need to be. Justin Mutz, I don't think, is even warmed up yet. So, when he gets himself going, they're going to be okay. So, until March rolls around, they'll get their chemistry back, but they'll be extremely dangerous come tournament time.
I'll tell you what, there's probably about 50, 60 teams in South Jersey that would like to have Austin Kennedy as their point guard.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a nice player.
He is a nice player. He's a very good player. And the thing is, he played alongside of Saeed, and now he's got to take it over the point. And people think, well, he must, he's the next point guard. He must be this or that. And, Austin Kennedy is kind of the kind of kid at least I kind of translate into a very good high school basketball player. Is he going to go play Division I basketball somewhere? Probably not. But as far as that team and what Coach Rodeo needs him to do, he does it. So, he's a good player. No doubt about it.
Talking with Kevin Minnick of the Courier-Post. Kevin, let's talk some Olympic Conference and some real nice races going on. About 3-4 teams in each division there really going after it. You're looking at American, you got Lenape, Cherokee, and Eastern battling it out. And in the National, Camden Catholic, Camden, Bishop, Eustis. They've each got about 8 wins overall. Shawnee off to a 9-0 start. So really some great basketball going on in the Olympic.
Yeah, the Olympic Conference year in, year out is always going to have, some of the better teams around, and obviously this year is no different. If you look at the American division right now, very seldom does any team in that division go undefeated. They battle each night. They take it to each other each night, and you may come out as a division champion with 2 or 3 losses. So right now, I think Lenape right now is holding the edge, and it's extremely slim. We're still working through those first set of games, and you can walk on anybody's floor on any given night, and you can walk out with an L. And it's a competitive basketball. There are nights where the scores are going to be in the 40s, and there's going to be nights when the scores are going to be in the 60s and the 70s. But very competitive, and like I said, they're beating up on each other right now. And you shift to the national division. Camden Catholic with a huge win earlier this week over Camden, giving Camden its first loss. And I kind of thought that this would be the year. Camden's they've got some underclassmen on the team, but everybody on that team, especially the starters right now, are veterans. They've been around, they've been through the wars, and I kind of thought maybe Camden goes into Camden Catholic this year and comes out with a decisive win. But as it holds, Camden Catholic holds court, defends its home court, and finds a way to win. And they continue to frustrate Camden in the style that they play and the defense, the lockdown defense that Matt Crawford has them playing. And we talk about those two teams, but Bishop Eustis has one loss too. And they're a team that I haven't had a chance to see yet. I want to get out and see them soon. But there's a team with one loss that's you got to throw into the mix too. And I believe on Tuesday they'll play at Camden, so we'll get an opportunity to see both of those teams on Tuesday and how they go about their business. And then you look at the Patriot division, like you said, Shawnee's undefeated right now. This is a Shawnee team that the last 2 years ago they took some lumps and they lost a lot of games, which was uncharacteristic of Joe Kessler's Shawnee program, but they were very young. And this team they got a lot better last year, and obviously this year, the Sixers talk about trust the process, and I've heard other coaches even at the high school level this year, I've heard the trust the process, and that's kind of how you have to look at Shawnee a little bit this year. In that Joe Kessler knew what he had. He knew that they were young and inexperienced at the varsity level. It was going to take a little bit of time, and now you're showing the fruits of the labor. So Shawnee's a very, very good basketball team. They knocked off Timber Creek last night. Timber Creek played without Maurice Murray, one of South Jersey's best players, but he'll be back for their next game against Lenape. And right now you have to give Shawnee, in any of the 3 divisions, if you were to say this team is going to be the division champion, I think Shawnee is the only team right now you could say would be a division champion, because the other 2 divisions are so tough.
Kevin, real quick before we let you go, let's turn our attention to the Tri-County Royal. Highland 9-2. Are they legit? What's going on with them? Are you surprised that they're off to that kind of start?
No, Highland's a good basketball team. Highland's a team that made it to the South Jersey Group 3 final last year, and they have a couple. They lost a significant part of their lineup, but they do have some returning players who, learned what it took to win at the varsity level last year, and they worked hard over the summer, and they've translated that into W's now. I'm not surprised at all, with the play of Highland. I kind of expected them to be at this point, maybe 9 wins, maybe maybe more along the lines of a 7-win, maybe 6-7 at this point in time. But they've really played well. They're extremely balanced. Any night of the week, you're looking at a basketball team that put 3, 4, even 5 guys in double figures. Their last game, big win over Williamstown. they have 5 guys in double figures, anybody between 11 and 17. So, it's kind of their MO right now. They're very balanced. They play for each other. They look for each other. Dante Messino is a junior and him and Damola Dio, 2 kids that got a little bit of taste of varsity last year. Brought that to the team this year, both juniors, and being they're really the leaders of this team, and a pretty decent point guard in Zaire Brower. So, Highland's a team I think that can, come March, I think that they can make a little bit of a tournament run, and maybe they get back to where they were last year.
Good stuff as always, Kevin. Up against the break, got to let you go, but we'll see you out there tonight at the prep.
Hey, we will be out there, Sully. The place will be packed, and I'm sure we're going to have a very entertaining basketball.
Good stuff, man. Catch you later.
All right, we'll see you in a few hours.
All right, man. That was Kevin Minnick of the Courier-Post.